Welcome back, ladies. Brand new TV show spoiler review here at Max Talks Movies. Now we're talking Only Murders in Building season 2 spoilers. We're going to break down really the last episode, who the killer was, and what our preview is for their setup for a season 3. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. The movie reviews, these type of TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring that bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts on Only Murders season 2. I jumped on this bandwagon late, right before season 2 started. We binged season 1, then got on board weekly on season 2. So let me know your general thoughts on Only Murders. Is it one of your favorite TV shows? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Have you heard of it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And then if spoiler-wise, there are spoiler comments. So did you think this was an underwhelming, made sense finale, and are you excited for season 3, or do you think the show should stop here at 2? And please like the video, give a thumbs up button. That's his part of the channel. So I really love this show. I really think that I do think the first season is a stronger season than the second season, but I still really thoroughly enjoyed season 2. I think this is one of the best shows on TV right now. And while I don't think they hit the nail on the coffin like they did, hit the bullseye like they did last season with Amy Ryan's character being the killer and that reveal, which I don't think was underwhelming. I thought was really good. This twist did have had one or two loopholes that I wasn't like thrilled about, but the execution of the show, the way it was directed and written, was still really well done. So overall, I love season 2 of the show. I think for I guess people who I don't know if you know this, for this movie was nominated for a show was nominated for a lot of Emmys. Steve Martin and Martin Short both nominated. Obviously, Selena Gomez was kind of like the headline for the show because she was not nominated for actress in a comedy. And I do think she will next season because she probably is the MVP of the trio this season. Because she is kind of the person who is being framed for this murder in season 2. Again, the setup was at the end of season 1 where Bunny is in Mabel's apartment and Mabel's covered in blood. And you're like, did Mabel do this? Someone probably framed her. And we get the season 2 of Only Murders. And she has this now dynamic with a new character played by Cara Delevingne. And they have a relationship that kind of goes from really nice and cute and really necessary for Mabel's character to then being not great in the middle of the show. I think Charles Hayden Savage, played by Steve Martin, he has a great arc this season with his father-son relationship, always kind of wanting his father to just to love him back, in his opinion. And he obviously learned that with Rose Cooper at the end of the series, which played by Shirley MacLaine this season, who was a great new addition as well. That was a really lovely scene. I think that was in the second to last episode where they find the original artwork that Poppy was looking for, and they cut underneath the original photo, and it was the picture of Charles as a son as a kid with his dad. I thought it was a really beautiful moment. And then, Putnam, Oliver has a huge arc this season with his son not knowing if he is his actual blood father. And Teddy being the one who's actually his father, and that not really meaning anything. Because I think it was a really strong arc, because again, I think a lot of people, this is the type of storyline just doesn't get put out there, and that even if you're not the blood father, not the biological father, this person is still your only father. And I think that the father-son relationship with the Putnams this season was really, really excellent, heartfelt. I think Martin Short and Selena Gomez, I think, actually did a better job, had better performances this season than last season. I think Steve Martin was right on par where he was in the first season. Obviously, he gets to finally meet his kind of stepdaughter, his ex-stepdaughter, Lucy, now this season. That was another fun relationship. So for me, I just had an absolute blast. Also, not a lot of new characters. I had Lucy, you had Cara Delevingne's character, you had Shirley MacLaine. You also had Michael Rapaport as this police cop who we know is now working with Poppy to get this kill happened. And then we also had the returning of Tina Fey, and a pretty big upgrade this season for her character, being the possible criminal mastermind who they thought was the mastermind throughout the season. Jane Lynch was back. Also, Amy Schumer was a cameo in the first couple episodes. So this show is jam-packed with getting people in there. But for me, it's 30 minutes just flies by. I'm still kind of mixed if 30-minute shows should be weekly TV. I think this is the exact type of show that should be weekly TV because it is, well, it's 30 minutes. It is a whodunit show and it's just such a unique show with this murder podcast. It keeps the show fresh throughout the entire season. But let's get to the finale as I'm just giving my general thoughts. And we think that it's clearly Tina Fey off of last week, that it was Tina Fey's character because she's the one who met up with Michael Rappaport's character in Oklahoma and faked that story about Becky Cooper, who we know is Poppy now to the last episode. And they meet with Poppy in the restaurant, and this is where Mabel texts the detective, who's also back played by Javine Joy Randolph, and they have the DNA of the knife finally. And then when Poppy leaves, Mabel says, "I know who it is. We have to," and then we get this whole killer reveal party, which is a really funny bit. And it kind of made it play for theater to pull out who the killer is. And we feel like at the beginning of this whole scene that they're trying to get Tina Fey's character to kind of expose herself, because they do the slow motion thing and they do the tomato opening, which Poppy told them to do. That freaks her out a bit. And then they do a whole fake kill that after Mabel's like, actually, it's not you, Tina Fey, it's Cara Delevingne's character. And Cara Delevingne was just walked in the room, stabs Charles. Charles like falls down, and at the first I was like, he's probably not dead. And we cut to black, and we cut back, and the one woman's like 3 minutes till the ambulance is here. And obviously he's not dead. It was a setup to get Poppy to release her confession. And while Becky Cooper, she was just always just wanted an opportunity in the spotlight. And Tina Fey's character just never did that for her. So that then led to, it was Poppy who, it was actually not Tina Fey who met with Michael Rappaport. It was Poppy who met with Michael Rappaport's character because they fell in love with each other. So we end the season. Now, there was a couple things that I didn't like about this reveal. I was cool with Poppy being the killer, but I didn't like that. The whole point was that she was trying to, that the point was that she put Bunny in Mabel's room and to frame our main trio, but she was kind of making it seem like she did try to text our trio to leave the building so they weren't caught in this murder, but she left Bunny's body in Mabel's apartment. That doesn't really make a lot of sense because when she was trying to go through Ackland, she said that right as Mabel's walking through the door, I was about to use Bunny's phone to text you guys to get out of the building. And I just thought didn't need that whatsoever. The whole point is that she was framing Mabel. So if she was framing Mabel, just leave it at that. Why do you have to show Poppy trying to like save them? If you're going to try to save them, why leave Bunny's body in this specific apartment? That for me did not work with this finale, but I don't think it was as good as a killer as Amy Ryan's character was, who also comes back in this season. She was really good in her dynamic with Steve Martin, was so good in the first season. I thought this was a good reveal, but it wasn't like mind-blowing reveal. It had a couple really good twists and turns. We really did feel like it could be Tina Fey, could be Michael Rappaport. It could even be Cara Delevingne's character, but it turns out that it was Poppy. I thought the killer was good. I just didn't feel like the explanation was as airtight as first season's big twist. But we end the episode as we did in the first season, setting up season 3, which was already greenlit after the first episode of season 2 came out. So they are fully going ahead, and I assume this will come out next year, as well as this season came out, again, a year apart from season 1. And because it's a lot of the same locations, they can really film this at a quicker time. But we go to this Broadway play a year later from the end of the second season, and it's crazy. There's no murders. They're just enjoying their life. Oliver, Charles is now not with dementia, not in a wheelchair on his show. And, Oliver is now directing a play on Broadway. And it's played by Paul Rudd, which is another great cameo. And then Paul Rudd has a really serious, like, good luck conversation with Charles before he goes on stage. And Mabel's of course on the nose, but she's like, there's been no murders for a year, thank God, we can just enjoy our lives. And then Paul Rudd is dead at the end of this season. And once again, that sets up for Only Murders season 3. And of course, when the show dropped, it was announced that Paul Rudd would be back for season 3 of Only Murders. So we're going to go through who killed this actor, who could it have been. Now we're a year past the killing of season 2. So I love this show from start to finish. I did prefer season 1 over season 2, and a lot of people who adored season 1 have been kind of way too critical on season 2. I thought season 2 was great. The trio is great. The performances are great. I thought Mabel and Oliver had step ups from season 1, but I do think the story did have a bit too many loopholes and a bit too many questions than season 1 did. So for me, season 1 was pretty perfect of a season of a comedy show. I think this one came close, but it wasn't as perfect, as airtight, as I said, as season 1. So I really enjoyed season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. I liked the ending episode. The second to last episode was, I thought, maybe the strongest episode of the show. And I want to keep watching Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez continually solving crimes. So funny, so heartfelt. You can laugh, you can cry, you can do a lot of things on the show. Masterfully done. So that's my thoughts on Only Murders in the Building on Hulu season 2. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, ring the bell, do all of those things. More videos are coming out soon on the channel, including yesterday, I had my box office breakdown show. Thursday, you'll have my review of She-Hulk episode 2, spoiler fashion, and then Friday, a review of a new movie. I'm not sure what I'm seeing yet. Probably The Invitation this Friday. And then back on Monday, another new box office breakdown show. So thanks for joining me on another journey on Only Murders in the Building.